chow, Mary Ann.
Thanks, Skipper. It's an old family recipe.
Surprisingly, this kind of meat is most nutritious.
I don't know. I still feel kind of bad.
Gilligan, little buddy, we've been over this 1,000,000 times.
I know, Skipper, but I still don't think we should have cooked and eaten Mr. and Mrs. Howell.
I've got coconut cream pie for dessert.
Coconut cream pie, my favorite.
Well, why don't you come get it with me?
Okay.
You know, ginger was better.
Much better. You know, I'm worried, Skipper. This meal will last a few days. But then what?
What?
It's USA's Camp Midnight, starring Dick Wilson. Join Dick and his guests from Gilligan's Island, Dawn Wells, comedian Bob Zany, lottery winner Christine Lentz, from the Newhart Show, Todd Sussman, Andrew White from TV 101, music by Tommy Page, and as always, Scooter Peach in the band. And now, here's your host, Dick Wilson.
There, all right, good evening. Welcome to Camp Midnight. I'm who she just said I was. We've got a great show coming up for you tonight. You know, as usual, a part of that great show is always Scooter Peach and the band. Scooter.
Yeah.
Well, we're a little grumpy tonight, aren't we? What?
So?
Scooter, we're on the show. We're on the air here, please.
you
I
don't
appreciate it.
care.
Scooter,
What do you
here.
care?
Come on, let me here. This always gets you. Come, hey,
Don't,
come on, Scooter.
don't do that. Wilson, Wilson, I'll pop you.
Scooter, come on, hey, Boone, come on, look out, here, move, boy. All right. Okay. All right. Luckily, Scooter's a little grumpy tonight. Luckily, I have invited our very special guest on, Lupi Laredo, professional rodeo clown. Lupi is here tonight to protect me just in case I get in any trouble, just like he protects those cowboys that fall off those Broncos and those Bulls. Lupi, good job. I think you've done it, Lupi. All right, careful now. All right, take it on back there. Good go. Lupi Laredo. Lupi. Man, oh, man. You know, Lupi smells like he's been hanging around the rodeo a little bit too much. And I don't know about you, but whenever I smell hay, grease paint in the stables, I start griping for some grub. And as we do every week, we feed our audience on this show because we love them. However, we don't like you all, so we're not going to... No. Of course we are. Tonight, we're going to call Honey Baked Ham. Let's look at this right here. The original Honey Baked Ham. One taste is all it takes. And let's order up, some sandwiches. What do you like? Ham, turkey, tuna? Is that going to take care of everybody? Buffalo, I think you're a little short on that. Roast beef.
Honey Baked Ham, this is Marty speaking.
I'm sorry, who is this?
This is Marty, Honey Baked Ham, can I help you?
Marty Dick Wilson over at the Camp Midnight Studios. How are you this evening?
Dick who?
Dick Wilson is the name. And we'd love to order some food. Is that okay?
That'd be great.
Great. You know, give me a couple hundred sandwiches. Can you cut them in like little quarters? Because these people don't know exactly how much they can eat, all right?
A
couple hundred sandwich cut in quarters. Each one cut in fourths.
Okay, we do triangles. Would that be okay with you?
That's fine. Yeah, that would be wonderful. Is that okay?
200.
Send some ambrosia salad and some potato salad along with that. We'd like them just as soon as you can get them here because these people are drooling.
Let's see, 200 sandwiches. I can do that. No problem. About 10 minutes?
Make it 5.
Okay.
All right, thanks. All right, there he goes. Honey Baked Hams coming this way. Camp Midnight. Tonight. What a nice show we've got. God, golly. I mean, some people coming up, and somebody I'm really excited to meet. Dawn Wells is coming up. Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island in just a moment on Camp Midnight. Midnight on the USA Network. One of my favorite parts of this show, and you also, I guess, from the cards and letters we received, is our little segment called Things That Sound Dirty But Aren't. Now, these are words that they sound dirty, but you can safely say them around the men of the cloth or your grandmother or anyone you might want to do that without fear of embarrassment. So tonight we have things that sound dirty but aren't. But I've done it so many weeks now. I'm getting a little tired of saying things that sound dirty but aren't. It's a little drawn out, a little tough. So we've come up with something. Brad, our director, is standing by. We've come up with a little something I think is going to help me do this a little easier tonight. Brad, I'll be giving the high sign on this. So let's give it a try. Tonight, Camp Midnight's
Things That Sound Dirty But Aren't.
Okay, good. Good. Well, let's get right underway because our very first
Things That Sound Dirty But Aren't
comes to us from one fella out in Raleigh, North Carolina. His name is H. Kent Craig, and it says here on the top of his letterhead that he has sent to us that he is a Creative Confluence Technology Solutions. I think we all know that's a plumber, is who that is. Now, H. Kent was so excited a couple of weeks ago when we had a
Things That Sound Dirty But Aren't.
And it was called Ball Cock. Well, of course, this put H. Kent, a plumber in our audience, into a foaming frenzy, and he realized that by looking through his plumbing supply book that it was just a plethora of
Things That Sound Dirty But Aren't.
So let's get underway with them. Our very first one comes to us, and H. Kent, thank you for this. Building on the B in Ballcock. H. Kent brings us Ballcock Shank Extender. This, of course, is the very first in our series of plumbing-related
Things That Sound Dirty But Aren't.
Okay. Number 2. Next, H. Kent tells us that nothing can end a good party any quicker than a flat suction stopper. These are actual plumbing things used in your home daily by your plumbers. And finally, tonight, the last of our
Things That Sound Dirty But Aren't.
H. Kent Craig is his name, once again, Raleigh, North Carolina, and he's responsible for this. He sent it to us. I can't believe that we can even say this on TV, let alone cable. But it is cockhole cover. There it is right there. So if you have any of these
Things That Sound Dirty But Aren't,
send them to us here at Camp Midnight. Here's the address, Camp Midnight, Post Office Box 189, Hollywood, California, 978. We do have a fax machine because we're on the cutting edge of technology, and our number there is 818-843-FAXS. Our segment producers sit around and look at it all day waiting for somebody to send something. So that's great. Okay, so send those. We'll look for them. My first guest tonight once set sail on a tropic port on a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. She ended up stuck on an uncharted desert island for years and years, and now she's stuck on an uncharted cable show. As primitive as can be, please say hello to Mary Ann, Miss Dawn Wells. Right there. Man, oh man, am I excited to see you in person. Can you? This is it, huh? Can you? 20 years ago or so, Gilligan Island, and I must say that you're still as beautiful as ever.
Thank you.
Dawn, you're great.
It's a long time, isn't it?
I love those earrings.
Aren't they fun?
Where did you get those?
A little place called Importique.
Did you?
In Encino.
Well, I thought maybe you were going to tell me you got them in Africa because you were just in Africa.
I was.
Why?
I climbed the mountain of Biscayne Mountain and saw the mountain gorillas. I had an out-of-body experience, you know. I'm not really flaky. Really? Yeah, I really did. We were climbing
While in Africa?
While in Africa.
Okay.
We were climbing from 8,000 to 12,000 feet. And the gorillas, they were shooting gorillas in the mist, so we had to see the gorillas further up in the mountains. They got the ones close at hand. And they told us the gorillas were about 45 minutes away. They didn't pack a lunch for us. And we climbed from 8,000 to 12,000 feet. We climbed actually 12 hours. And you're only allowed to spend 1 hour with the gorillas. So the light oxygen and everything.
Who decides this, the 1 hour with the gorillas?
The Rwanda government. Yeah,
okay.
They're very adamant about not disturbing their habitat. They don't want to humanize them at all. And coming back, we tried to make it back before dark. And I really felt myself leave my body. I guess it's hypothermia. I think that must be what it is.
What happened to you? Well, you were out of your body. What did you see?
Well, I felt like I was floating. I was very disoriented. I didn't feel I wasn't tired. I could have walked for another 12 hours. All of a sudden, I guess maybe it's like a runner's high. You hear about people who run all the time?
Sure, sure.
It was interesting. But I made it. I'm here to talk about it.
Your body's back, and You're also, I was excited to find out that you know, I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, and I was excited to find out that you're a Stevens College girl from Columbia, Missouri.
Have you ever been in love with a Stevens girl?
You know, what happened is, I was just like all the other college guys in Missouri. We drive by Stevens College and saying, there's some pretty women in there. I wish one would give me the time of day. You're
It was
still
like
involved with the college,
when I went
aren't you?
there. Yeah, I'm still very much involved. I'm on the board of curators and the fund board, alumni association, trying to raise money for the school. And it's one of the few women's colleges left. There's only about 79 colleges left. In the 1970s, when private schools were having a hard time, a lot of colleges had to go co-ed, you know. There were some 220 female colleges then, and we're down to 79.
79. Oh, that's great. Well, wave next time you fly over Kansas City.
I will.
Yeah,
You come from a great spot.
I've got a question for you. Now, I've been, for years and years, I have toiled with this question, and I'm wondering, you were on Gilligan's Island there for so many years, and you were able to make so many things out of bamboo. Anything.
Anything.
Why couldn't you fix the damn minnow?
Good question. I thought you were going to ask me where did we get the clothes. That's usually the number one.
That's coming up. Yeah.
Yes. Isn't it silly?
Yeah, that was a great show. You had a lot of fun, I guess, on that show.
Sure.
For years and years. Yeah.
Sure.
What's going on with some of the other people that are in it now?
We're all pretty close. We haven't seen much of Ginger because Ginger hasn't done any of our specials. But we all get together. We were on the Fox late night show last spring, and we've done.
They're not holding you responsible for that either.
No.
Yeah.
We got away with that. And we're all pretty close. Mrs. Howell and I are very close. We see each other a lot, and the Skipper and Gilligan, of course. It was a nice crowd.
You know, you were in a beauty pageant back in the Nevada
turn
days,
of the century.
right? The Nevada days, back in the early days.
Yes, the old
Miss
days.
Nevada. Was that the Miss America pageant?
Yes.
What do you feel about those pageants these days now? Are they still apropos? Or are they?
I think they're terrific.
Yeah.
I think they provide an awful lot of education and scholarships for an awful lot of young women. I don't see anything particularly negative about it at all. I know Women's Lib has a big thing about it, but it teaches you grace. It teaches you how to stand up in front of a bunch of people and talk. It teaches you manners. It teaches you a lot of things. Plus education. You know, you come away without being Miss America. You come away with $10,000 or $12,000 or $14,000, $15,000 worth of scholarships. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, what was your talent in the Miss America?
I did a dramatic reading. For the Miss Nevada pageant, I did a scene from our town. For the Miss America pageant, I did Rosalind from As You Like It.
Yeah. Have you forgotten those
Big
now,
mistake.
or could we have a couple lines?
No, you have no lines. That was much too long ago.
Huh? What was your favorite Gilligan's episode? Did you have any favorites?
Yeah, we like the dream sequences best because we got to be other people. I think my favorite was the Dr. and Jekyll, Mr. Hyde episode where I got to be. Yeah, you remember? Yeah. I got to do. Jack and the Beanstalk, yeah.
Yeah, somebody mentioned Jack and the Beanstalk, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know that Gilligan's little boy played Gilligan when he was with the giant?
Really?
His little 5-year-old boy was playing his character. Yeah.
Well, what are you up to these days now? What's
Well,
keeping
I've got a
Don
lot
Wells
going
busy?
on. I just moved back to California. I've
Yeah?
been living in Nashville, Tennessee for quite a while. I've been doing mostly theater, so I've come back to Los Angeles. I finished a play. I did a original play called Fire Escape here this fall. I'm on my way to Missouri. I will say hello to you as I go.
Thank you.
On Tuesday, I do the Children's Miracle Network telethon for the state of Missouri, and I'm going back to shoot some stories about the children. I'm going back to my college for a fun board meeting, and I have designed a line of handicapped clothing that I'm just in the process
Really?
of.
Where do people find out about that?
I'm just beginning. The name of the company is Wishing Wells, and my samples are coming out on Monday, and it's for people in nursing homes and convalescent care, basically.
Will you market it through
Probably
special place?
mail order, probably.
Yeah.
Probably mail order.
What about your family? You have,
Well, I have a mom.
yeah, good.
I have don't we all have a mom?
Yeah.
I have a brother and a sister. One lives in Idaho, one lives in Las Vegas, and that's it.
Were you the only one that got into the acting part of the family?
Yeah.
What got you started in that?
I was a chemistry major at Stevens College, can you believe that? And I wanted to be a ballerina.
Yeah.
And I developed trick knees. I have Joe Namath knees.
Oh, my God.
I can't play any sport. I'm good at scorekeeping, I can tell you that. So in order to take some kind of PE, I decided I'd take a theater course as sort of my outlet. and ended up changing my major. Went from Stevens College to the University of Washington in Seattle, and this is it.
A chemistry major. Ooh, that's tough.
It's real hard to switch from an
I bet you
analytical.
don't remember any of that either.
Not
do
much.
ya?
Not much. Thank God, huh?
Well, Dawn, you are our favorite person from Gilligan's Island, and we're glad we had you on here. What we'd like for you to do is to sign
Yes,
and
I heard
put your
about this.
yes, please sign and put your dental impression on our cup, please. Here, this is just kind of bite a little bit. There you go. Okay. Dawn Wells, coming up on Camp Midnight. Welcome back to Camp Midnight. I've got Dawn Wells' cup here. It needs to go on my cup wall of fame back behind me here. But I'm a little tired this evening, and once again, just like in an earlier show where we had the automatic remote rib receiver where we drove the trash can out to pick up ribs, I've come up with another contraption that may help me relax in my chair while I still fulfill my duties here on Camp Midnight. So what we have the automatic cup retrieval system here lined up to take this cup, this Dawn Wells cup, right back to its place of honor on our wall. Now, I understand all I have to do is take this little piece right here and clip the Dawn Wells cup on it and press this button. All right, well, I think we'll all agree the idea is there. It needs to be tweaked just a little bit, I think. So we'll work on that. But I think we've got something there. Okay, all right. My next guest, a la Roger Rabbit, makes me laugh, and I think he will you too. He also stars with Linda Blair in the soon-to-be-released feature Up Your Alley. Please welcome one of the bigger fellows on our show tonight, Bob Zany.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah? What is this, a fun bus that broke down on the way to Vegas? This is great. Woo! Thank you. No heckles, please. I can't believe what happened to me on the way over here, and I got pulled over by a police officer. He gets out of the car and says, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" I said, "'Cause you're lonely and never been with a fat man?" He said, "Bingo." So we're going to meet at Marie Callender's for some pie. Thank you. I went out to breakfast the other day. I couldn't believe this happened. I ordered pigs in a blanket. They brought me a picture of my parents in bed. You could imagine my surprise. I thought I had bought the negative. Look, it's Dick Wilson. Oh, so much to share with you. I saw a bumper sticker today that said, "Lose weight now, ask me how." So I waited till the car pulled over to ask the guy, and he said, "Go on a diet, you fat pig." Thank you for laughing at my emotional scar. I went to a fat farm. They made it a ranch. When I dance, the band skips. Did you get that one, Scooter? Okay. Scooter, I love your pies. I used to have a sunken bathtub and a sunken toilet. I used to be a surfer, now I'm a yacht. But I just bought a talking scale. This is neat. It's a talking scale, has a female voice. I got on it and she said, "Could I get on top?" Because you see, it talked. Oh, so much to share with you guys. I like doing zany things because that's why I'm here. You guys like doing things that are weird and different? Yeah! Okay. Well, you're here tonight, and this is zany to do. Next time we're in a movie theater, person behind you says, "Hey, couldn't you move your head?" Do this. How's that? Oh. Oh, I got a fat rush. I hate that, Dick. Oh, fun to do, you guys. Go up to a hitchhiker, ask him where he's going. When he tells you, say, "Okay, we'll tell him that you're coming." You just get out of there, you see. Go to Photomat when the personal booth says, hey, can I help you? Say, no, I'm just looking. Go to a piano bar, give the guy a buck and say, can you sing Kung Fu Fighting? This is the best thing to do. This is really great to do, you guys. Go to a pet shelter. Did you get it? How about that time release comedy? Isn't it something? Go to a, okay, thank you. She just held up a rap card. I have to hurry up. I'm kind of busy. Go to a pet shelter. This is fun. Adopt the pet, fill out the paperwork, give them the money, and then when you got the dog in your hands, turn to them and say, these are good eating, aren't they? Thank you.
Microphone there. There you go.
Oh, that's right.
You all right? Yeah.
I
Okay.
hope this isn't against the union, me putting it on.
Oh no problem on that. You okay? You need? I got some water. You need some water? You need some pure oxygen or anything? You feel okay?
No, I feel fine, but thanks for asking.
All right, good. I don't understand.
You know, I want to ask you something.
Okay.
Things that you can say.
Things that sound dirty but really aren't.
Okay. Well, can I call you Dick on TV?
Let's do it.
It's just a thought.
Well, we'll talk it over and work it out. You know, what about, can I call you Bob Zany? Is that your real name?
No, it really is. It's Earl Zany. No, it is my real name, really.
Oh, come on. Zany? I looked through the phone book and I couldn't find any Zanys in Los Angeles.
Play along, Dick, please.
Oh, okay.
No, it isn't. I have a real name, but I'm not going to say that now because I owe money. I owe a lot of money and it would be wrong.
Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? Where were you a boy, a lad?
Where was I, a boy?
Yeah.
Well, in a bathhouse. Anyway, no, I grew up in West Covina, California. Right here, I'm a native.
Nobody applauded.
Well,
how come?
I don't want to hurt your feelings, but there's only 20 people in the audience.
Okay.
Dick.
About 10 of them are related, too. Yeah.
I think the odds of it hitting is real slim.
Really? Yeah. So, where are you hanging out these days? What are you topping the scales at these days, Bob?
Well, that's a very good question to ask, Dick.
Yeah, I'm noticing a little something.
Is that your real hair?
Not really. Yeah. Because I wear it here on the weekend when I'm out
I liked
here.
it.
Yeah.
Cy Sperling called. He's not only a hair club member, he's also a client. And I want to know, did he get comped? Or did he pay?
No, I wear the sign on the back. Yeah. What about dieting? Do you do that at all, Bob?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm scared.
Why?
I had a cholesterol test today, and they found bacon. They found big chunks of it, and so I actually tried losing weight last summer. I had that operation where they staple your stomach.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. Well, I chickened out the last minute and just had it Velcroed. So if you hear, it's just me. You've got a movie that you're in, and you've brought a clip. Now, you have it on you, or do we have it? Do we have it where we can show it? Well, I got a clip right here. It hangs onto the mic. It's so neat. But
this thing is what? It's called Up Your Alley?
Up Your Alley.
Can we say that on television?
Well, I hope.
Okay.
Because it'd be promo.
Up Your Alley. Tell me about it. What's the story?
Well, it's a movie about homeless people living on the streets, and I play a young guy named Sonny Griffin who just got kicked out of his house because his mom died. And Murray Langston, a.k.a. the Unknown Comic, teaches me how to live on the streets because he's a washed-up comedy writer.
You wouldn't happen to have a sample of this, would you?
Well, of course I do.
All right, well, let's take a look at that.
Real quick, this scene
what's happening? Okay.
In this scene, Murray has taught me all these things, and we become best buddies, and I rescue him from these junkies that have changed him back to his old ways.
Let's see. Up Your Alley. Bob Zany.
You know, I don't think you're hearing me. I said your friend is staying right here.
Look, I don't want any trouble. I'm not that kind of boy. I'm not that kind of man. Look, if any of you try to stop me from taking my friend away from here, you'll be sorry that you ever did. So, me. David, let's go.
Sonny, what the hell are you doing, man?
Just shut up. Let's go.
Sonny, come on, man. Hey, whoa. Can you believe Vicky's writing all those stories about us? Hey, you know, that took a lot of guts to do what you just did.
Scott, I was just whooping.
There he is, Bob Zany, up your alley.
Can I ask you something, Dick? Do I look fat in this?
I don't think so, do you? No, we've got, I can see where those buttons worked at some point. You studied for this role. I see a lot of emotion in this role that you've done now. How did you study for this? What did you do?
I grew up.
Did you? Yeah.
I grew up as a kid getting picked on because you're fat. That's how I studied for the role.
Really?
Which now that I'm older, I understand why.
Now you're able to pick on other people because...
No, it's wrong. I shouldn't.
Do you still own the clubs?
I have about 7 now, Bob Zany Comedy Outlet.
You're rich. You're so rich.
I have so much money that I had to save up to do this show.
Yeah. Bob, I was going to have you sign a cup, but they're all gone. What the heck? Let's just get rid of this water here. Here we go. And there you go right there. Sign that, bite that, and let's get you up here on our wall of fame.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
You know him.
Thank you.
Bob, we're coming up with a millionaire lottery winner, Christine Lind of Camp Midnight. Welcome back. All right, Camp Midnight on your TV. Thanks for being here in the semi-middle of the night with us. Scooter, Peach, how you doing over there, buddy? Gee, Scooter's still just a tad grumpy. I'm glad that Lupi Laredo, my professional rodeo clown, is here in case I get into any problem. He can be rerouted. Well, guys, what's it been? A month, almost a couple of months, month and a half or so since Ronald and Nancy Reagan moved out of the political spotlight, and they moved out here to Los Angeles to be the first family in Los Angeles. Matter of fact, they live not too far away from our studios at 668 St. Cloud Avenue is the address for your mailing purposes. And we're very fortunate because we live in such a close proximity that we can have an exclusive interview with somebody very special who can tell us a bit more about the fabulous Reagans and the information that we seem to keep craving about this family. So if we can, I'd like to introduce our next guest, a 14-year resident of St. Cloud Avenue and the Reagans' new next-door neighbor. Please welcome Mrs. Alma Finley. Have a seat there. How are you? Welcome to the program. Welcome to the program.
This is a bench.
Oh, well, it's a bench. Yeah, it's kind of all
nice.
campy, you know, kind of camp stuff. Well, thanks for being on the program. I know you're probably a busy person living next door to the former president. I mean, everybody must dream of living next door to the president. Is it exciting?
Well, those people can keep dreaming, Dick, because it's been a hellish pit of a nightmare.
What do you mean?
Do you have a light?
Well,
You know, what don't I mean? Because this is terrible. Thank you, darling.
awfully small cigarette. Yeah.
I don't even know where to start. They've got this dog. They call him Lucky. All I know is there's so much crap on my front lawn, it looks like a petting zoo. And I don't care who they are, you know?
Wait a minute. I don't think a little dog duty on your lawn is a small price to pay for living next door to the former leader of the free world.
Dick, my family has had plenty of thrills, and thrills like this I don't need. I mean, last week, my son Sheldon is playing golf frisbee in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
The thing goes over the fence, and naturally he goes over to retrieve it because he should. Bang, a Secret Service man shoots him in the leg, shatters his kneecap.
My God.
You know?
Is he okay?
Well, he's a trooper, and he put it back together himself, but it's a negative thing.
Oh.
Dick, honestly, you know?
Well, all right. I'm telling by your voice here a little bit, maybe things aren't working out on this.
Well, no. I mean, first of all, I haven't slept in 6 weeks because Ronald Reagan has this neat little Black & Decker chainsaw that he clears the brush from the hillside with at all hours of the day and night, and it's like, vroom, 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 you know, because it goes through my head like a nail. What would you do?
Okay, well, let me change the subject a minute. Doesn't Ronald, he wears a hearing aid.
Well, it's not doing any good because all I know is that the stereo is cranked full blast all the time. The phone rings at top volume, and every night at 7:30, like clockwork, he's watching reruns of What's Happening. Yeah. He loves jive.
Gee, so, well, I understand that Bel Air, I've not been up around that house. I understand it's kind of a quiet neighborhood. Is it still remain quiet?
No, I don't know. I mean, these people, last week, they have Judge Ginsburg over, and I'm not insinuating... Yeah, this is right, because the man comes over 5 nights in a row. And all I know is he stays very late, and I'm not saying anything, but an hour after he arrives, their driveway is filled with deliveries from Chicken Delight and Domino's. Enough said, I think.
Yeah, how does this work now with the judge coming over? It seems a little strange, you know, with Nancy being the spokesperson for the, you know, the Just Say No campaign.
The woman's never home because she's always at my house borrowing my dresses.
Yeah. All right, well...
She's in my closet. She says she'll return them. I don't think she will because she's not honest.
Well, tell me this.
Well, she's not...
Well, what are you doing about all this stuff? I mean, what action are you taking?
Oh, well, you know, Dick, I mean, I don't know. I've talked to my lawyer, and he tells me that making legal action against Mr. Hoity-Toity, Ronald Reagan, wouldn't be a very good idea, and I respect his opinion. My analyst has told me that I have a lot of pent-up hostility, and I don't know if it shows, but I think that I do.
What's your analyst suggesting in this situation?
Well, I've set up a souvenir stand at the foot of my driveway to cash in on the tourists who come to 668 St. Cloud Avenue, easy freeway access. Tell your friends.
Okay, well, wait a minute. I see. Have you brought some of the stuff from the souvenir stand?
Yes, I did.
Let's take a look at this.
I would love to, if you don't mind.
Could you just play us over there, Scooter? You know, I mean, okay, thank you.
Oh, stop it with that.
Thank you very much.
I hate that song now.
All right, now what is this thing?
Okay. The first thing I have is what I call the St. Cloud Shred-O-Matic. It takes care of any confidential correspondences, slices, dices, and makes the world's best slaw. You just turn it on and you see it.
You've got the cabbage there, and, by golly, there it is. Yeah.
Thank you.
What is this right here in the middle?
Well, you know, people are very, very sentimental about things like their baby teeth, the locks of the children's hair. So along those lines, I've come up with these handy colon surgery refrigerator magnets.
Wait a minute. Boy, this reminds you to have the rough edge, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, that's the point, really.
Okay. There's something I'm stumbling over. What's this on the floor?
To commemorate the invasion of the tiny island of Grenada... Help me, please.
Oh, sure. Let me get this for you.
How about this convenient heat-seeking missile keychain?
Well, there's the key right on top there. Boy.
You can find it easily.
That would you could just like blow it up in your house if you lose your keys, couldn't you? Yeah. All right. And then what is this final piece here?
Sure. Okay. Well, remember when Reagan had to send all of those nice humanitarian things to the Contras?
Okay. You mean, yeah, he couldn't send military stuff, I remember.
Well, no, that's right. So he sent humanitarian things like food, medical supplies, home furnishings. So what I have now is this lovely moral equivalent of our founding fathers' wind chimes. And it's very musical.
Well, that's one. Well,
Talk to me after the show.
Anything else tonight?
No, that's it. Honey, I've got to go because Gary Hart just moved in across the street, and I have 2 daughters with very large breasts, and I'm a little nervous.
All right. Mrs. Alma Finley, the Reagan's next-door neighbor. Bye-bye. Okay. Oh, my. What's next? Is our millionaire next? Yeah, okay. I've been waiting for this. My very next guest is a lady who doesn't have a lot of years behind her, but she's sure got wads and wads of scratch. At the age of 20, she won over $19 million in the California lottery. You guys can look, but please don't touch Miss Christine Lentz. There's the microphone right there. Okay. All right. You probably should have someone following you to do that for you. I've just got to sit here for a moment. I've never sat with someone who has quite that much money, so let me just enjoy this for just a second. Okay. You know, everybody, I know I do, everybody must have a fantasy about what they would buy, what they'd do if they won the lottery. What was your fantasy?
Oh, to be able to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted to.
Yeah. Are you doing that now?
Yeah. I'm having a good time.
Well, all right, let's set a little bit of scene. Let's backtrack. When did you win the money?
Last August.
All right, and the IRS knows this. We're okay talking about this.
Yeah.
What were you doing at the moment? I mean, what kind of game was it that you played first?
It was the lotto, the 6 numbers. You pick 6 numbers, you get 6 right, and you win the jackpot.
Did you pick your own numbers?
No, I didn't. The computer picked them for me.
Woo, that's a great deal. So, all right, you won. You're sitting at home, and you realize you're won. What were you doing at the moment?
I was sitting home eating cottage cheese when I won.
Yeah. And what did you feel?
Oh, I didn't believe it at first. I was eating the cottage cheese, and I looked at the numbers, and they all matched, and I started screaming and jumping up and down, and it was 11 o'clock at night, woke everybody up in the house, and then we all talked about what we were going to do with the money.
Living those fantasies. How are things in the family now that they've got the millionaire daughter? How have things changed?
They're still good. Huh? They're good.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have a younger sister.
How are they putting up with this?
She likes to go shopping.
She takes you along, too, doesn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what have you bought so far?
I bought 2 houses, a yacht, a convertible BMW.
Yeah. And this was just like yesterday, right?
Yeah.
You know, people's lives can change quite a bit when you get this amount of money and this amount of publicity. So what has happened? I mean, what kind of response have you gotten from the public?
Oh, a lot of interest because I'm so young. You know, I'm not about to die or anything.
Well, I certainly hope not.
I have enough years to spend all the money.
Sure,
and,
yeah. Did you get a lot of letters from people all over the country wanting to sell you things and wanting you to give them money and that stuff?
Oh, yeah, I get, not so much anymore. That was at first, but not so much anymore. I get, now I get more of this kind of stuff.
What is this stuff? We're trying to decide. What do you want to do? I mean, career-wise now, are you just going to, like, spend this money or manage it? Or what?
I want to be a teacher, too. Teach little kids.
What area? What do you want to teach?
Either high school, theater arts, or like 2nd grade or something.
Are you in college now?
Yeah, I go to Saddleback College.
Do you? Okay. Now, I understand you had to work a little bit while you were going last year.
Yeah, well, for the past 2 years. I was working 2 jobs and going to school at the same time.
Yeah. And now you've dropped those jobs.
No, just one of them I did.
You're still working?
I work for my mother for free.
I understand there's going to be a little change in your life in a few months here, right?
Yeah, in July.
What's happening?
I'm getting married.
Oh. Now, tell me a story about you and your boyfriend. Have you been on the up and up for a while? Or did you have any problems?
There's always problems.
You know.
Well, we've known each other for about 2.5 years.
Yeah. Did you break up anytime recently? No?
Not since I won.
Good timing on the gentleman. Yeah, no, actually. I believe he's in the audience somewhere. Could we have Christine Lentz's fiance please stand up? Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. Guys. No, wait a minute, hold it. There's too many of you. Wait a minute. Would the wrong people please sit down? All right, where's the real one? Would you point him out? All right. There you go. All right. Well, that's guys. Good luck to all of you. How many kids do you want to have?
4.
What do you think? No? He's shaking his head no, so you'll have to talk about that. What are you going to invest in? How have you built the Christine Lentz Corporation about yourself now? Have you hired people on? What?
Yeah, I have all the investors and lawyers and accountants and all that stuff. It's boring, though.
I'll tell you one thing's not boring. You guys are going to get married. You're going to take one great trip, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, where are you going? You could go anywhere in the world. Europe. You could go to France. You could go to England. What are you going to do?
We're going to travel the United States.
Yeah. All right. That's good. In what way?
We're going to get in like a RV or something, just take off.
Just take off and never come back.
Yeah.
Can I don't, this isn't a good question to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How much pocket change does a 19-millionaire carry around?
Like how much do I have in my purse right now?
Well, if I was to get your purse, and you know, how much is in there?
$1.
Good. I feel right like you now. Christine, good luck to you. We're going to have some people walk you back out to the car, and I have, instead of a cup, I'd like you to sign my mortgage I brought in from Kansas City, Missouri. Right here. Christine, please do. We'll have you sign a cup before you go, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Happy spending. Okay, Christine Lentz. Yeah, we'll be back in a minute. welcome back to Camp Midnight. Man, have we got a neat thing for you. How would you like to go anywhere in the United States, just like Christine Lentz, maybe, including Alaska and Hawaii? You can do that now. In honor of the new release of the home video release of the terrific movie Midnight Run, we are now offering Camp Midnight's Run Sweepstakes. Now, do we want to take a look at the little thing on the movie here? Are we going to do that this time? Just say yes or no. I don't care who does it.
Yes, we would love to.
Let's take a look at that Midnight Run piece just a moment. It's a funny movie.
These men.
I love to travel by train.
Where are they going?
You'll find out when we get there.
Why is everyone trying to kill them?
Does your personality?
And who's Mosley?
Lonzo Mosley, FBI. Lonzo Mosley, FBI. Lonzo Mosley, FBI.
Robert De Niro, Charles Grodin.
You think we lost him? Oh, I'm sure we're completely safe.
Midnight Run, rated R.
All right. Now, if you'd like to get in on this contest, here's all you have to do. Just send us a postcard with your name, address, and telephone number and age on it, and send it to this address, Midnight Run Sweepstakes, USA's Camp Midnight, Post Office Box 189, Hollywood, California, 978. We're going to draw a winner randomly out of the Camp Midnight trash barrel at some point here in the future and give away that trip for two, which includes airfare, hotel accommodations for a week, and bus transfers, if you should possibly need those. And this is going to be, the event will take place on March 31st, right here on Camp Midnight when we make that drawing. So you've got a little bit of time to send it in. The deadline is March 14th for your entries. All winners must be 18 years or older, and please, folks, remember, void where prohibited by law.
Wilson.
And if you live there, I'd get out of there quick.
Hey, Wilson.
What do you want, Scoot?
That's low. That is such a blatant plug. You're going to insult me, and worse yet, insult this audience and the audience at home with that kind of plugging. Are you guys going to take it? I'm not. No more plugs. No more plugs. No more plugs. No more plugs.
Look out. Come on, hey. Lupi, man, am I glad you're here. Lupi Laredo, my professional rodeo clown. Come on over. Yeah, thank you. I'm not sure, but I think you may have just saved my life. Yeah, just get in the barrel there. Sit down. Let me chat for you just a minute. Lupi Laredo, professional rodeo clown.
Well, no, actually,
this is wonderful. Wait.
Let me just say, Dick, actually, my name is not Lupi Laredo. It's actually Lionel Chesick from the Royal Shakespeare Company. Nice pleasure to meet you.
Well, how...
This barrel's rather precarious. Oh,
wait a minute. How did you get from the west side of London to the rodeo?
Actually, it's quite interesting. Originally, I was quite successful in Two Gentlemen of Verona at the Royal Shakespeare Company, the West End in London. And then what rather happened to me is that I had somewhat of a serious injury. I tore a collateral ligament doing Two Gentlemen of Verona, Shakespeare's play, you know.
Yeah, and so you ended up in the rodeo world because of
That's correct, actually. I went to Ontario, Canada, and decided to get involved in the rodeo, sort of taunting Brahma bulls and whatnot, and had a rather enjoyable experience with that.
Yeah. Well, gosh, how would I have ever known? I mean, thank you for helping me out here.
It was actually a rather interesting experience, you know, being involved in Shakespeare and performing. I try to keep a good face on the whole bit. I mean, it's a bit difficult, however, but I find that taunting the bulls and, of course, quoting from Keats, we are the music makers, we are the dreamers of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers, sitting by desolate streams, world losers and world shakers on whom the pale moon gleams, yet we are the movers and shakers of the world forever it seems.
With a gimpy ex-Shakespearean actor.
What's this, is this a fault of mine?
Hog-ties doggies for a living really makes me want to grapple for some grub, you know what I mean?
The world is but a
fondle some foodstuffs, so let's see if we can do that. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Dick.
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
Would you mind joining me? The food is here.
Oh, absolutely,
all right,
certainly.
Here, yeah, step out of your barrel.
I'll just climb on out of here.
Come on. Oh, isn't that something how that works? Come on over, the food's here, everybody, Well, Laredo, as you can see, we have some wonderful food from Honey Baked Ham. We got the delicious sandwiches, the tuna and the ham and the turkey. That's going to be wonderful. We've got the ambrosia and the potato salad. We're going to feed our audience. And please. Yeah. Hey, come here. Hey, ham sandwich here. Come on, ham sandwich. Hey, bull. Here, look out. Over here. Come on, ham sandwich. Woo! Look out. All right. Oh, saved again by Lupi Laredo. Keep that Zany guy out of here. All right. Hey, before y'all come up, let me just tell you that we've got this week's network stipulation video standing by, and it's from two guys from Brooklyn named John. It's called They Might Be Giants. Now, this week's video question, watch closely. If they were giants and they were dropped off the Empire State Building with a penny, which would fall faster? Come on up and eat. Let's watch it together on Camp Midnight. They might be giants. Our network stipulation video tonight, the answer is, of course, to our question, they'd fall at the same speed if you threw a penny and these people off the Empire State Building. However, they'd both probably be shot down by World War I biplanes that always fly around and keep people off the Empire State Building. We've got some great people enjoying some food. Just come on over here. Let's just, hi, how you doing? What's your name? Who are you?
David.
David?
Hungry.
I've seen this done before. I wondered how this was done. Where are you from, David?
El Toro.
You can't talk with cherries in your mouth, huh? How do you like it? Is it okay? Tasting good?
Excellent.
How you doing? What's
Real
your name?
good. Leslie.
Leslie, where are you from?
El Toro.
You've all come together?
Yeah.
Just a plot of some sort?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Food's pretty good? Honey baked hams?
Great.
Okay. Say it right. Did we have mustard?
No. Yeah.
Did you get mustard? All right. Okay. Well, we'll have mustard later. All right. Yeah. All right. We got Sheriff Shivlet from Newhart coming up in just a minute. Todd Sussman. Welcome back to Camp Midnight on the USA Network, and we've got a great guest coming up for you right now. You've seen our next guest on television millions and millions of times in movies, series, commercials, and now you can brag to your friends that you actually saw him and you know his name right here on Camp Midnight. Please welcome Todd Sussman. Todd, come on out here. Good to see you. There's a microphone right there for you. Oh, good. Okay, where did this come from? Is this,
To tell you the truth, I hope you'll indulge me. I've been losing my hair.
Yeah?
I know you were talking about hair a little earlier.
Sure,
but I had this made a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It cost a fortune.
Yeah.
And I've never worn it. And so I thought I could just leave it here.
Yeah?
While I'm out here, because I want to get it used to the public before I wear it.
Okay. Get it used to the lights and things.
Right.
Have you named this at all yet?
No, I haven't. What do you think? Are we going to open it up?
Do we
to
need a name for this? Yeah. Harry?
It's a natural.
Harry it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, just leave it right there, and I appreciate it.
You know, I'm not out in this town too much, just every Friday night, you know, and they tell me that you are a rarity in Los Angeles. It's something they call a working actor.
I thought you were going to talk about being Jewish. We got a lot of Jews out here. Well, unfortunately, I'm not sure the exact statistic. They say of all the Screen Actors Guild, there are about 6% of the folks called working actors who are lucky enough to...
Only 6%?
I think that's what it is, something like 6%.
Actually making a living at it, huh?
Yes, making a living at it, going from show to show and talk show to talk show.
How many different shows have you been on, do you think?
Oh, gosh, I've been doing it, this is my 20th year. So I really don't know. I would have to say thousands. But that's not true. I don't know, 200.
Yeah.
I'll make it up.
How do you not starred in a major show, but you played a lot of the character parts along the way. Is this good? Is this comfortable for you? Is this okay?
It's all okay. I love to work. I am a show-off, and that's why I'm here tonight. And I'm lucky to be in this business because we get paid for showing off.
Well, you're Officer Shiflett on Newhart.
That's right.
Yeah. Tell me about this character now.
He's a jerk. He's a jerk, and he finds trouble where it does not exist. He is Bob Newhart's nemesis. For some reason, Newhart ticks this guy off. I mean, I suspect Newhart of every crime in the book, and I'm constantly arresting him.
You're constantly trying to arrest him, yeah.
I am, and it's great working with Bob Newhart for all the things. He's a nice guy, he's brilliant, and all these kinds of things. But he's a reactive actor, so I'm lucky enough to get the laugh I get, and then you get another laugh from Bob's reaction to me. It's a lot of fun.
Is he does he do any recordings anymore? He used to have some great comedy recordings, Newhart. He's not into that anymore.
He doesn't seem to be into that. The most we see of his stand-up is when we shoot on a Friday night and we bring in an audience like this. Bob gives about 10 minutes of free stand-up for you before we do the show, and it's always a pleasure.
You did an interesting character on St. Elsewhere that I talked about, and I believe because we have Harry on the desk, and because we do things that sound dirty but really aren't, I think you could explain this to us. Go ahead.
Well, I'll try. I did a recurring part on St. Elsewhere. I did 4 episodes. The first episode, I was a moving man in the pink of health. In the second one, I had cancer of the bladder. To remove this cancer, they had to cut the erectile nerves to, can you say penis on cable?
I think we just did. Yeah, sure.
They had to cut the erectile nerves to my penis. And then on the third show, they brought me back and gave me a new one.
Can that be done?
It was, buddy. I'll tell you. They gave me a penile implant. It's the kind of thing, well, I don't want to get too graphic.
Can you go in for an estimate on something like that?
I went to Vista Ford for mine.
So what happened?
Well, you just put her in there and blow her... No, and then... Now, the fourth one, and I don't know if you're ready for this cable or not, they brought me back. The penile implant was working very well. You know. And they rebuilt my foreskin.
Okay.
Because they say, and they have to put true stuff on the TV show. I think the lawyers check it and everything. They say that the foreskin gives added sensitivity. So they wanted to give me the whole...
I've heard, yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. Anyway.
What a crazy role. Yay! Yeah. Wow. Right,
sorry, ma'am.
You've done millions and millions of commercials. What's the dumbest commercial you've ever done?
Golly, there's a line of them. Although I'm grateful for every one I've gotten, but once I had to eat a Clark bar in a fish aquarium.
Underwater?
Underwater, yes.
How'd you do that?
It was a tough shoot. I was over at the studio, and they built me a huge aquarium, and they put an overstuffed chair down on the bottom, weighted it down so it wouldn't float up. Had some fish in there, you know, and so forth, and they put me in one of those old-time bathing suits that I think they're made out of wool. They're very rough.
Like it, huh?
Yeah, and you know, they come like this. Sorry, sound. They come like this, and they go down to here. And I would, and I had a waxed handlebar mustache and so forth. My hair, which I had more of at the time. And then I would just go down there holding my breath, and on cue, and you got all the cameras and lights like here surrounding you, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I ate a Clark bar.
And got
fish
paid,
are doing this.
Mucho dollars for it.
I got a couple of bucks for that.
Todd, thanks for being on the show. I think Harry's ready to go. I think he's comfortable now.
You think he's had enough?
Take him with him. And if you would, let's set Harry down here, sign a cup, and put a little dental impression for us for our Wall of Cup fame.
Thank you so much.
Todd, thank you all so much. Camp Midnight.
All right, thank you.
Andrew White coming up from TV 101 on Camp Midnight. Again on Camp Midnight. Thanks for spending the night with us. And my next guest portrays the rebellious, introverted teenager Vance Checker on the new CBS television series TV 101. Please join me in welcoming Andrew White.
How are you?
Good.
Hope you don't mind.
No,
brought this down with me.
Bring your own water. That's
first
I'm getting a little low.
Talk show kind of thing I've done, so I'm a little nervous.
This is the first talk show you've done?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So I'm keeping my water on my hand.
Oh, good. Yeah, I've got mine here.
Mouth gets dry.
To your good health.
Thank you, and to yours.
TV 101. Is this the first big television dramatic break for you?
It is, in fact, the only television that I've done.
How did they find you? Where were
more
you?
television than I ever expected.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you get involved with the show?
I've been in Chicago for the past 5 years. I went to Chicago. Way.
That's
Bears, Northwestern.
For every city, Andrew.
What year? What school? What department? What? Well, how come I didn't see you at graduation? I won't question you too closely on that. Don't mean to bring it up.
Person,
I'm sorry.
Right? Yeah.
No, but well, yes, Northwestern. We graduated the same year, '87. And so.
So how'd they find you in Chicago?
I work with an agent there in Chicago, and work as well with a theater company since then. And I guess occasionally they would send me out on auditions for this kind of thing and that kind of thing, and this kind of thing I got.
Well, you hit it. Tell me the premise of TV 101. Background us a little on that.
It's basically, if you go to high schools today, in fact, the high school I went to here in LA and the high school we're shooting at as well, they have video production classes. And the premise of this is that they combine a video production class with a journalism class. And Kevin Keegan, a sort of rebellious teacher and former journalist himself, comes back to teach high school journalism. And time to take a drink of water. And he teaches these kids about news journalism and video journalism as opposed to just print journalism.
Now, your character, Vance, when you started in the show, was a real rebel. Is that changed at all? And what's
I'd like to think not. I think Vance is going to continue to be the rebellious sort. Most of us knew someone like Vance through most of high school. I knew someone like Vance. I was
always afraid of those guys.
Yeah,
I was the wimp in high school myself.
And I wasn't too far off myself from being a wimp. But there's an edge that is frightening to guys like Vance, and that is intimidating. And I think that's going to remain. He's sort of out of the drug scene for a while. For a while, he was, you know, a pothead or stoner, as we call him.
Yeah.
But he had a friend die in the first episode who was driving drunk and high, and so he's sort of steering clear of that for a while.
You brought a little something for us to look at, didn't you?
That's what I understand, yeah.
Yeah, I think we have a clip on that.
Yeah.
So do we know what we're seeing yet?
I haven't seen it myself.
We call this potluck clip. Let's look together and see.
Okay, right. As far as I understand it, it's Alex Yazera plays Holden Hines, and I are scoping out. We're supposed to do a faculty profile of one of the teachers in the school. So
okay, let's take a look.
Scoping them out and see the possibilities.
TV 101.
It seems that Ms. Burton used to teach PE over at Wilson High.
Yes, so.
Except when she was at Wilson, she taught boys PE, and her name was Mr. Burton.
Get out of here, man.
What? Kurt! Get over here!
Whoa. Yes.
She's got a pair of triceps like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, she's a gym teacher from hell.
Yeah.
I understand you're involved with a group you work with. Is it CISPAS?
Yeah, that's right. I work with CISPAS here. It's the Committee in Solidarity with the People of El Salvador. I worked with them in Chicago, and I'm working with them here. I had the opportunity to go down to El Salvador for a couple weeks last year. And they're concerned. I'm sorry?
What kind of things are you doing?
Well, the organization is basically concerned with U.S. policy in El Salvador and the potential for increased intervention and stopping the war there, which we forget about.
You're into a theater back in Chicago. You're into a theater group back there, right?
Yeah, the Looking
What's
Glass
going on
Theater
back
Project.
that way?
Well, in fact, I just talked to them this evening, and one of our actresses has a compound fracture in her wrist. We just moved into a space, and they're chipping the paint off the ceiling, as I understand it, and she fell off a ladder. Compound fracture and is in surgery perhaps at this moment. But so we're developing a very experimental and very acrobatic style of theater that we've been working on for the past couple of years.
You're doing some writing. You've written some things.
Yeah,
What
I've
have you written?
one play, a play called Of One Blood. It's about, if anybody saw Mississippi Burning, it's about that incident, the murder of Schwerner, Cheney, and Goodman in 1964 in June. Though the focus of my play is different from the film. The film focused more on the FBI investigation. I'm focusing more on the activists.
Yeah. So you're really a great serious actor, and this is the direction you're taking.
Very serious actor. Yeah, we like to, especially with the company. We're,
have you by chance met Lupi Laredo, our rodeo clown? Yeah, Lupi.
Well, you're in the theater!
Andrew White, Lupi Laredo.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
Yes. It's nice to meet you as well. Lupi.
Oh, my goodness. How interesting. You know, we were going to speak to you earlier about the Oscars, you know, somewhat. The fact that absolutely absurd that Jeremy Irons was not nominated this year, you know, for the Oscars. I mean,
Well,
a great performer.
He's a very fine performer. Irons is a good man, but
Brilliant.
you know, in all honesty, I just don't think the British style of acting can deliver the power that Americans can. I mean, you look at someone like John Malkovich, you look at someone like, well, Sly Stallone, who really is capable of delivering
it's interesting.
the
I mean,
full
if you
range
figured out
of
every
human
single year to come
expression.
to London and see that kind of performance every day, but of course you wouldn't be there because the Americans are not on the stages.
No, and funnily enough, the British are coming
Irons?
here
Do you
to do
know?
soap operas.
I don't know what they're talking about.
I have no idea. Do you think we went to a commercial? You think they'd stop?
Somewhat.
Hopefully.
All right, let's try it. We'll be back with more Camp Midnight in just a moment.
Americans don't do that kind of
you're here. My next guest is a newcomer to the music scene and releasing his first album at the age of 18. I hope this doesn't rhyme too much, but please take a look here and enjoy with us on Camp Midnight. Please welcome Sire recording artist Tommy Page. Tommy. All right, come on over. Yeah. Good job, Tommy. Grab that microphone right there. All right, Tommy Page. Tommy Page.
How you doing?
Well, I'm okay, Tommy. You're 18?
Yeah, I'm going to be 19 in 2 months.
Good golly. I tell you, well, you know, earlier in the show we had Christine Lentz on, the $19 million follower. She's living her fantasies. Are you living yours now?
Pretty much so. It's kind of like a dream come true, you know. It's I have a record now that's breaking in the States. It's about a week away from top 40.
That's just the single, right?
Yeah,
there.
The one we just played. Yeah. And it's really exciting. I have a record that's gold in Japan right now. So I had a little taste of it a while back when I went to Japan. But it was funny, I was in Salt Lake City like a week ago doing a promotion trip, and it was really the first promotion trip I've done in America. And I walked up there on the stage to play the song on the piano, and my first thing when I got the microphone, I went, wow, and I said, Americans. You know? And I saw this whole crowd, you know, it was really fun.
What's the Japanese audiences like? How are they different?
They're really great, but see, they don't really understand English, as, you know, obviously is what we do. So when I would sing my songs, and I'd have, like, the choruses usually repeat the same words over and over again, and they'd be like, up takes over, you know, like when the chorus comes in, they'd all sing along, and it was, you know.
Well, you got started at the ripe old age of what? You were a coat check guy?
Okay.
And where did you start?
Well, my story is pretty interesting because similar to Madonna, I was discovered in the club scene in New York City. Yeah. I moved to New York when I was 16 years old, and I got a job working in a nightclub called Nell's, which was a real trendy spot there, and I was a coat check.
What did you do? Did you like slip demo tapes in everybody's coat?
Well, I made my own record. I saw a lot of, and I checked a lot of famous people's coats too. I've got stories about that too. But yeah, I made some records, and I became friends with the DJs on the dance floor, and they spun these acetate records I made, and that's where it all happened.
What are the really big stars in New York wearing coat-wise back then?
Well, I've checked in everybody's coat. Like any famous person, from Whitney Houston to the Beastie Boys, which was my worst experience because I was real young, you know, and I looked really young at the time. And they came down there, you know, and they took their coats off and they threw it on me like I was the hanger, and it fell on my head, you know. And me not really being a big fan of the Beastie Boys, I threw them down on the ground and stepped on the coats.
Well, that's good.
But Whitney Houston came in and she had a white mink coat, yeah.
Well, I would expect that from Whitney. Yeah.
Yeah, she came in.
You met Tiffany here recently.
Yeah. Last week, Tiffany and I got together up in San Francisco. We were at a convention for music.
What's she like?
She was I was really impressed with her, really impressed, you know. I'm friends with Debbie Gibson from New York City, so everyone's comparing the two, and I saw her, and I was like, you know, I'm friends
They're really friends, aren't they?
Yeah, it's really funny. She said, you know, everybody would expect us to hate each other, but they're actually really good friends, you know.
Well, Tommy, thank you for being on Camp Midnight.
Yeah, it's great.
You sound great. I got a cup I want you to sign and put your dental impression on so we can sell it for big bucks when this album goes platinum, okay? All right. Sign it up there and take it back. Tommy Page. We're back in a minute on Camp Midnight. Welcome back, Camp Midnight. Thank you, our wonderful guest tonight, Dawn Wells from Gilligan's Island, comedian Bob Zany, millionaire lottery winner Christine Lentz, Todd Sussman from Newhart, from TV 101, Andrew White, and also pop sensation Tommy Page, our regulars, Caroline Schlitt and Tony Forkish. Don't forget now, send in your entry blanks. Let's show that address once again for the Camp Midnight Sweepstakes. Send it right here to this address that you see on the screen. Your age, your name, age, and phone number, and all that information to us, and you might win a trip to anywhere in the United States, and it's all due to that release, that new home video release of Midnight Run, the movie. We'll look for your entry blanks. Scooter, tell me one thing before we get out of here, play. Why have you been so upset through the whole show?
Well, we've had so many guests on this show, and you've never once, not once, asked me to come over there and talk to me. How do you think I feel?
Well, I mean, communication is the essence of a friendship. Come on over, ladies and gentlemen, Scooter Pete. All right, Scooter. Yeah. I'm sure there's probably here. Hold this right here. Yeah, Scooter.
There's no mic.
Yeah.
Here. There's no mic.
Scooter.
Yeah.
You did such a great job. Would you bite and sign a cup for us, please?
Well, yeah.
Just bite and sign that cup. There you go. And bite and sign that cup. And by golly, I believe we're out of time, Scooter. Take that cup with you back and play the theme. All right, go ahead. There you go.
I'll play the hell out of that.
All right, go do it. All right. Next week, Annie Julie Bloom from Not Necessarily the News, comedian Bob Cosser, Ken Mars from Police Academy 6. We'll see you next week on Camp Midnight.